On the way this half hour, we shine our local business spotlight on the good people at People's Home Equity. Make sure and stick around for that. Also, the one, the only Chattanooga Motor Car Festival is on the way back to the Scenic City. The one, the only Grand Marshal of the Motor Car Festival, Corky Coker, joining us a little bit later on this half hour. And we'll tell you what's going on at CHI Memorial with the Mary Ellen Locher Scholarship Fund. All of that and more coming up this half hour on Let's Chat.
Welcome to Let's Chat, the Tennessee Valley's premier show focusing on lifestyle and entertainment, bringing you smart shopping tips, community events, and the newest trends. Now, let's chat.
Good morning and good morning and good morning again. Thank you for joining us. It is Tuesday. It is May 25th. Typically around this time, we talk about a few things you'll hear about around the water cooler, but we are somewhat breaking our format this morning and spending a few minutes with the guy who's going to be performing at the Grand Ole Opry later on tonight. It's our longtime friend and killer comedian, Killer Beaz. Beaz, good morning and welcome back.
Hey, buddy, good morning. It's good to hear your voice.
I am so tickled to have you here, and we're going to do things a little bit differently this time around. Beaz is on the road on the outskirts of Nashville, where later on tonight you are taking the center stage, the Golden Circle at the Grand Ole Opry. Wow, that,
Yeah.
and this is going to be at the Opry House. Quite an honor for a comedian.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty pumped up, man. That's going to be a lot of fun. I will have my 13 minutes of fame tonight. That's what my set is. It'll be 13 minutes of, what's that word? Awesome comedy
That's
at the
the
Grand
word.
Ole Opry.
Do you
The
know who
big
else?
Star.
Do you know who
Yeah,
else is
yeah,
going to be performing with you?
There's 4 people that I saw on the bill. I'm one of them. And then there were 2 singers that I don't know them yet. I don't remember the names, but freaking Lee Greenwood
Wow.
is on the show tonight. So I will get to add that to my list of credits. Performed with Lee Greenwood at the infamous the historic Grand Ole Opry, Nashville, Tennessee.
He has been here several times with us, either on the morning show or on our midday show here. What a class act and a genuine nice guy. I think you'll like working with Lee Greenwood.
Oh, yeah, man.
We're going to do things a little bit differently. Typically, we do grins and giggles here, but the past, 2 or 3 months of your life have been anything but grins and giggles. You had, pardon my language, one heck of a health scare beginning back in early March, and this is something that definitely got your attention. Fill us in.
Yeah, it did, brother. I went into the hospital to the emergency room March the 1st, having a freaking heart attack.
Wow.
It was the 5th cardiac event, as they call it, during that week. So the first 4, I was like, man, this is weird feeling. My arm would go numb and start aching, kind of like a dull toothache kind of pain, not a stabbing kind of pain, and they would feel like they weren't getting blood in them.
Right.
So on the morning of March the 1st, it was a very intense episode. And so here I am, chest pains, arm pains, gasping for breath, hauling tail in our car to get me to the emergency room. And it was at that point where I shared with the lovely and talented Terry, or corporate, my wife, that this was the 5th such episode that week. So somehow I had forgotten to tell her about the others.
And let's fast forward to the 25th, which is when you underwent a surgical procedure, and between the 1st and the 25th, you had a bunch of these events.
It took about 3 weeks. We got there on the first day. They did a heart catheterization and found 4 blockages, and the vessels that were blocked, that had the blockages, were the exact same size of the stents they wanted to use. And they were afraid they would tear those arteries, those veins, arteries, whatever they were, putting those stents in. So we took 3 weeks of me taking vasodilators and all kinds of different medicines to open these vessels up. So they had me at the same time taking time release nitroglycerin. Nitroglycerin is that emergency medication that they give when you're actively having a heart attack,
Right.
because it will open your vessels more. And so I was taking twice a day doses of time release nitroglycerin along with the other stuff, and was still, I would say, 15 to 20 times in that 3-week period, I had to resort to the emergency dosage that goes under my tongue. So somewhere in the vicinity of 20, thank God, mild heart attacks.
You know, you hear that term mild heart attack, and that's always applied to other people. You never consider one that you're having yourself as mild. And during that period, you had to come off the road, obviously. We've only got 60 seconds or so left, but I want to bring you back and continue this story. All kidding aside, how scared were you?
And I was pretty scared, man. I didn't really, truly, I guess because I'm just ignorant, did not feel like I was going to die. But for those 3 weeks that I was trying to stay alive to get to the procedure, I really, really didn't want to be that weak and feeble the rest of my life.
I understand. Hey, I'll tell you what, we're going to bring you back here in a few days and pick this story up. Obviously, you are back. Hopefully, you're back up to 100%. And tonight is the big night at the Grand Ole Opry. So, Killer Beaz, break a leg, and I know you will, my brother. Best of luck. You and I will talk here over the coming days. Find out more about getting tickets for tonight's performance at the Opry by checking out Opry Entertainment Group, and you can find out more about the comedy of Killer Beaz at killerbeaz.com. We'll be right back.